So, hello to my handover video for this particular account. There is a previous video available about this. This used to be the blacklist account, which I've reworked big time in order to get it to a very decent best practice type, from my perspective, best practice type setup. There are still some things incomplete, which I will go through here, which is the focus area for the next weeks. I think I've worked on this for about 4 weeks roundabout, and also had quite some support from Coco, or Happy and Happier Feet, on participating in certain events to make sure this account benefits from the activities that are going on around non-purchase rewards. Um, I'm leaving you a little bit of a gift. I've been attacking some of my farms this morning just so that you could get at least the first training facility, which is the bulker camp here. And I did that on purpose, even though for most people it's the shooter camp, because shooter camp 29 is a requirement for the mansion up to level 30. And we used it as a bit of a case study to just make sure that everybody who sees this understands the needs for using the right equipment for the right action. Because I've got the resources now, I've got some unsaved cash here, which all of that will be burned for this upgrade. I did this on purpose to leave some of the saved cash for potentially other activities, and we'll go through that again in a second. And if I do it now, where I'm on my battle skills, remember this has SVIP 6 halfway through to SVIP 7, so I've got these 3 skill sets and the ability to switch freely, and the right gear to be equipped. If I just do it like this now, it will take 7 days, almost 8 days, in order to complete the upgrade. Now, if I now switch to the growth workstream, which has impact on the building speed, it actually goes down to 710. And if I then switch to my build equipment set, make sure you make use of these equipment sets and update them as in when you change equipment. And here I really just have 2 pieces at the moment which help me with building, one of which is my my terrorizer suit, which is at gold and slightly augmented, and the in progress Kingpin assault rifle, but still it's 5% here, it's 20% here, so that should make quite of an impact. So if we do it now, we're down to 7 days 5 hours, so we've saved 19 hours of speed ups or building time in order to do this. So celebrate, and let's do this together and build it. Magic moment. Other than that, this account has done a lot of good work, and I'm just going to show you what things should be done next. Initially, I received this, it had farms itself, which means some of the resource areas were underdeveloped because the person who was using this got lots of the resources from farms. I still recommend to maintain resource productivity at the highest possible, not highest possible, but reasonably highest possible level in order to have self-sustainability. Plus, the impact on the shakedown is quite significant if you've got the right settings. Right, with this is the growth setting for resources, and you can see that there's a Kingpin set being developed in progress, which I'll be talking about in a second, and the augmented gold ring. If I do a shakedown now, I'll get it's 5 times the current production, right? So it's 3 million cargo. And if you do that well twice a day with the buffs applied at that time, it's 6 million. Right, but on my own account, I actually have more like 1 million cargo production. So I get 10 million a day just from the shakedown. And obviously, if you multiply that over time, let's say a week, and whether you get 1 million more a day, which turns into 7 million a week, that still makes a difference. And the same goes for other resource production facilities. I've got the Hitman up to maximum. I'm currently using the coin accelerator that you get from the armored truck, which is on. I've demolished all the cache facilities except for one, and I've started reworking them into cargo and other bits. That's why some of them here are on lower levels, so this needs some attention, but let's go through it in the right order. What you should do next is you should upgrade your shooter camp to level 30. Afterwards, you should focus always with your main queue, and afterwards you should focus on the biker camp to get it to level 30. You'll be receiving quite a lot of safe cash from the truck, which is on for another 6 days. It's about 15 million a day, so that's just 90 million just from that, which is going to be enough for the shooter camp, and will give you a start on the biker camp if you want. Whatever cash you don't spend, and you don't want to save up for any major activities, use it to upgrade your cargo facilities. I've left you with quite some arms and metal, so you shouldn't have an immediate problem there, although it always goes fast if you invest into expensive things. So you should gather cargo, and you should use the cargo to upgrade your arms and your metal facilities. This account has quite a lot of hospitals and training facilities. Here 7-7. I would gradually rework that into 5-5 and rather upgrade the other facilities higher, and then use the 4 spots that become available to build 2 more arms production and 2 more metal production, and then level them up. Later, as in when everything is built on this account, you might want to rework it again to training facilities and hospitals, but intermediate, it's kind of a lot of low level, which is blocking space, which, you know, you could, in the somewhat growth phase of this account, maybe still use to do better on the production, because production is still fairly relevant here. Diner needs an upgrade to level 30. You know, you should find some time somewhere. We could do it now if we wanted to, but I'll leave that decision to you whether you want to do it. The babes need attention. So this account has a lot of babes actually, which is great. The 4 main babes are close to 5 stars. There's not so much left to do here, but it's still expensive to get the last 2 stars. And I recently got Marie from the Mafiopoly. So not you know, you can spend some roses here. I just got Laura, which is the family babe. Nothing done here really, needs attention. And we still got the Christmas babe. So you'll be busy for quite a while on babes, which actually means you should buy the 5 roses at the plantation store every day, and you should probably even spend your family coins here on getting roses, which I did today. I would normally focus on getting either permanent activities, you know, like here the level privileges, or I would buy the fragments of the vigilante, but you really need the roses, so this is probably what you should be doing, and it's also what you should be spending your gold on. So when the yacht is there, you know, you buy those for 650, yep, and you buy them for 150, and you buy them for 40. Don't necessarily buy the ones above, because then you will be running out of gold pretty quickly, and then you get your stuff, you know, and then, you know, this bit. Do your slammer every day with your best battle gear. Now this account has an intermediate problem at the moment, because when the ring is augmented to maximum, you actually don't have enough Goldfather coin to activate your battle set, which means in order to do so, you need to revert the augmentation, which remember is free on Godfather equipment. Then you switch to your battle set and you get the code, and then you augment the code to whatever you can afford. It's possible that you need to manually reset some Godfather equipment. There's actually still some augmentation cards here stuck on the diary, so let's get rid of that. Let's make sure we reset this. Let's just do some manual work, and let's see. Yeah, I would actually have the augmentation cards, but we don't currently have the coins to go any higher here. And then make sure we switch to battle. You can have a look at the stats that we can achieve at the moment without buffs. It's fairly decent. This is Cosa Nostra, so there's a bit more focus on biker, but we're good around 200% on Bulker and biker, and this is without buffs. So if you apply the 20% buffs, you've got 232 biker attack, 219 bulker defense. You know, it's a good mid-range account. Definitely something you can do with this. I've developed the family business insofar as that I've done most of the things you can do on every family without having reputation, except for some of the grid things, because they require a bit more. Okay, here's one left. I would still develop these and double check if I've done them all. Don't do family members until you're willing to spend 1 million coins or gold, family gold. It takes quite a while to get that, so you've got to be really committed to that, and it's a long process. It has been done here by someone, in this account, but that wasn't me. I wouldn't continue this. I would really use my family gold on all the increases here first until they reach a point where they are equally as expensive as developing the family members, and then it's really a question of do you switch over or not. But other than that, I've done some really good work there. With regards to equipment, I'm currently working on upgrading the Kingpin set. Reason for that is I don't have enough of the orange gems in order to get the equipment the 3 pieces of terrorizer, the 3 pieces of orange equipment level 25 that I would need in order to upgrade the terrorizer trousers. There's 1 piece that needs to be developed here, which is the level 35 shoes need to be upgraded to level 40. That's why there are no emblems on this. So this is the project I would do first in order to get the best possible equipment combination that you can at the time. So I would do the dress shoes, and I would replace these. And as you can see here, I'm lacking these. What is it? Don't even know. This material, and then also this material. So this is what you should produce, or this is what you should use your purple coupons from that you're going to get from the truck, which is still on for the next day. So make sure you get on that. After that, you might actually be able to do this. Don't synthesize up all your gems. Remember, use them to build cheap equipment to level up the Kingpin set. We're working on the Kingpin set at the moment. We have all pieces, but they need to be upgraded. And for the purposes of this video, I actually left enough equipment in order to show you the synthesization process. Because here, this piece can now be synthesized. Because I have 3 other pieces of white equipment. This is normal equipment. So you make it white, level 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, regular process using all your cheap gems. You make 3 pieces of this, and then you can combine them with your Kingpin piece, and then you can synthesize it up. Then you make 3 in green and so on. And you do that whole process until you have them on orange. That's where I would leave them, because then it gets really expensive to get another 3 level 20 6 times. You probably want to use those gems by the time to develop your main equipment, but I'll leave that to you. Which means let's just do this now, so I can continue. I can continue the journey. So here, synthesize, yes, yoo-hoo. Now it's green. Make sure you update your sets, because obviously it gets automatically removed. Which means on the resource set, you now need to add the green one. On the training healing set, we have, yeah, actually we still have a piece of equipment here. Wait a second. Pistol, Kingpin shirts, Kingpin trousers. Yeah, this is because these actually, at the time I didn't have this. So let's now put this in, and depending on what else this thing can do, it's got the metal production here. So try to level them all up balanced, all green first or blue first. I haven't done that myself here, but try to do it, because then you will get the set buffs, and you always get the set buffs of the highest level of which you have the most. So at the moment I'm only getting resource production buff on this set, but if I had them all on green, I would also get investment speed and training speed. So once you've got them all on orange, they should surpass all your other pieces that you have, including those set buffs, and then you get the training speed acceleration and the investment speed acceleration. Hence why this is usually active for those things. I've got these sets here for resources, battle, build, investment, and training healing. It's what I've called it. It should probably be renamed to training only by this time. make sure you update those. Right. You need to get more emblems, so you need to attack Reapers. I've got only 2 purple ones, which are on the golden Terrorizer suit, because that's not going to change very frequently. I have put some green emblems on this one, because it will still take some time in order to get another 3 pieces to level 25 on orange to do this, turn this into gold, but I deliberately put green ones on them because they're the cheapest to remove. And I obviously haven't put any on this here, I mean on the leather shoes, because you're going to upgrade this very soon, and then you can put your emblems on. I would keep the level 35 submachine gun. I actually find it better than the level 40 equivalent. So until you've got level 43 equipment, which you can't yet because the leader isn't on the highest level, you should probably stick to this. That's why I put emblems on it as well. And I'll even put blue ones on. Although normally I say on my other videos don't do that, because it costs you the same to remove those than what it costs you to remove the purple ones. But you got so few emblems here, and it will take you quite a while to get purple, that it'll probably be worth it in the intermediate time. And then you just use your family gold, bullshit, sorry, your clan honor. I get confused with all these coins that you get and the naming of them sometimes, in order to buy the removal tools, in order to remove an emblem, put another one on, synthesize them, whatnot. Don't augment any equipment. Only when this is on gold you can augment it a little bit, 1, 2, 3 levels, because you want to keep your augmentation cards to do this Godfather up and down trick, because it's free, in order to always get the best possible. And once you've got some of your other equipment on 43 gold, then we can talk about augmenting it. Otherwise I wouldn't do it, because it always costs you 5,000 gold to remove an augmentation on that level, and that's a lot of gold, especially if you don't spend money. If you spend money, it's fine, but if you don't spend money, it's something I would see to avoid. On the plantation store, you don't have a lot of coin here, because you kind of live hand to mouth. So make sure you do this regularly. I was buying roses, and I still need to buy the energy of the day, which I couldn't afford yet, and the building queue. And then normally I buy the Catalina and the Adriana fragments, and maybe the emblem chests if I still have enough on this account, because obviously you need the emblems. And you can, for those that don't know, you can actually, once you've got Adriana at 4 or 5 stars, you can actually do these level upgrades here with surplus fragments. The only thing is you need to have the vigilante on a certain level. Level 30 for this skill, level 35 for this skill. So I buy them every day on my main account, and then I upgrade the vigilante skills. But this will still take quite a while to get enough vigilante experience in order to get this to a level where you can do it. So intermediate, once you have them on 5 stars and you've saved maybe 500, 1,000, 1,500 fragments, you might want to stop and buy something else with it in the plantation store, and then because it will take time to get that experience, right? You've got 2 active vigilantes which are currently being used on attacks, one of which is Itsumi, because she gives you, the shooter attack and the damage reduction, and I think I'm using Bruce at the moment. That's temporary. It's really just speed, which is a bit useless, but it's halfway to getting the rage mode, which will get you the extra 10%. And if you've got some fragments that you will want to get Nick up to the next level, because then this will become your active vigilante. You might want to have Nick and Itsumi, or Nick and Bruce on your ops, and then you put the other one they're not using on your wall, because you currently have a vigilante on your wall, which is Subin, which doesn't actually give you any benefits here. I just needed to put someone there, because you don't want to leave it naked. Caesar actually gives you some benefits on the damage taken. You don't yet have 4 active vigilantes, as in with active skills, to put here in order to make this any better. Let me see if I have forgotten any relevant area. We've talked about growth, we've talked about equipment, maybe investment agency. this didn't have much developed on the gathering, hence why I'm still working on these. Only do the cache productivity and cache freightage where you need it in order to progress in the tree. This is starting to get really expensive, so I haven't even done this much on my main. I've done good work on the equipment because it's important for the equipment switch. I've started with the storehouse just because I wanted to keep the queue busy, and this is really what I'm doing here right now. I'm saving the resources to build the buildings, which means I'm just doing research on things that are not expensive much, just to keep the queue busy, and then it could kind of be anything. We all know which areas are important here to develop, battle skills and some things on the side. But at the moment, you can't do everything, so maybe go cheap, use the queue time, and then use your resources for something else. Come back to this later. On the Hitman agency, I've finished the development services. I'm currently on the construction services. I would recommend for you to finish these as quickly as possible, possibly even with speed ups, because you're still building all these buildings here on those levels, which means you still benefit from this. Once you've got everything on level 30, this section is worthless, right? So do it soon, do it now, and then when you're done with that, you're free to choose. I would do some development on training still. I would do some development on equipment services, gem speed up specifically, and then eventually you have to start thinking about developing these extra slots. I could do it now. I have the resources, I have the Hitman coin to get an extra slot on my equipment for emblems, but I don't really have very good emblems, so it's not so critical. There's some other areas that you should do first, and as usual, cheap but relevant first, in order to make the most out of the limitations, which are the coins or which is the gold or whatever, out of this. And I think we can leave it there. As usual, I will likely have forgotten something, and I'll probably remember it straight after I click stop on the record, but it is what it is. So this is how I would continue on this account. You don't have to do it, but I think it's the best strategy. Gather cargo, get cash, do the developments as discussed, and then have fun with this account, and rename it to Miss Blue Lips or something. I would be looking forward to that. Thanks. Bye guys.